Hello and welcome to Comedian Field in Holliston, Massachusetts on Thursday, May 10th for SportView's award-winning production of Holliston Panther Lacrosse 2018. It's found only on HCAT TV. Today, the Panther girls host the Norton Lancers in a Tri-Valley League matchup. My name is Tom Emmons, and alongside the booth is my co-host, Tom Trainer. Tom, the Panthers have lost 3 of their last 4 games. Can Holliston bounce back against Norton this afternoon?
Thanks, Tom, for having me. The Holliston Panthers are ready for today's game. They need 3 wins to get into the playoffs. It starts with this one here today. Nothing more exciting than that. The girls are ready. The last 3 losses were against the powerhouses in the Tri-Valley League. But they're ready for today, and they're going to come out strong and fast.
Holliston with a record of 6-5 on the season. They've scored 131 goals, averaging just over 12 goals per game. Their head coach is Emma Decker. The Norton Lancers are 1-8 on the season. They've scored 44 goals. Their head coach is Allison DeLuca.
It's a nice day for a game, Tom. A little overcast, but not too hot, not too cold. Should be a lot of fun action. And it starts, Tom, right here at the draw with junior Lily Trainer taking the draw, having a terrific season on the draw with winning over 50% of the draws, which in lacrosse is everything. You control the ball off the draw, you control the game. Critical today to watch how the draws go. You'll watch Lily now. She's looking at Lauren Sally, number 13, and number 8, sophomore Kaylin Trombley. She's putting them where she's going to put the ball in the draw. And here we go.
Trainer with a good flip. And Lauren Sally with the ball immediately.
So Lauren's just going to take her time. They want to set it up. They're going to try and assess what the defense is doing here. It's Kaylin Trombley, the sophomore, moving it around to the outside. You can see what they're doing. Norton right now is just setting a little man-to-man defense here.
Norton's a young squad, but I noticed they've got a number of their senior leadership on their defense today.
It is a young team, and this is where I think you'll see Holliston, Tom, will try to capitalize. I thought it was a nice cut by Lily Trainer right through the middle. Just didn't see it. Lily setting the pick for Lauren Sally. Kaylin Trombley working around to the center. Takes a shot.
Score! So Panthers on the board first at 24:09.
And that was sophomore Kaylin Trombley. Kaylin, that's her 13th goal of the season. You see they worked the ball around nicely, Tom. The first cutter, Lily set the cut through the middle, set the peck, which freed Kaylin to go across the middle. Nicely well executed. So here we go on the draw again. Lily pushed it. She saw Lauren was on the inside, and she pushed it this time to Lauren. And that's Maggie Fitzgerald, the sophomore, picking that ground ball up. It's junior Jada Shaughnessy there. Again, same thing, Tom. You can see him just moving it around. Nice cut by Audrey Givens, the junior. Oh, and a nice drive right there by Maggie Fitzgerald.
And Fitzgerald with the goal.
That was a nice drive by Maggie, Tom. She just saw the opening and split right through the 2 defenders.
Less than a minute later, Panthers up 2-0 as Fitzgerald scores her 10th of the year.
That was well executed, Tom. Just good team ball movement there.
Well, that's the basics of the lacrosse game, is to create those mismatches by setting up your offense, getting those cutters coming through, and the skill is hitting the passes to those cutters. Holliston.
Could not agree more, Tom.
Doing a great job here in the opening minutes of the game.
So Lily saw there. She saw that the Lancer was not on the backside of the circle, so Lily just flipped it back to herself, and Holliston has control again. So just patience. Lily faking the pass there to Audrey Strock. Lily looking.
Like the spacing the Panthers have. Give themselves some room. And Trainer that time goes up top against Costello and scores.
That was another set, Tom. You saw the cutter when the cutter from Holliston went across. It pulled the second defender, so they no longer had the double team, and Lily took advantage of it and drew to the inside for the goal.
That's the 44th on the season, and the 115th of her Panther career. All-time leading scorer for the Panthers, just a junior, number 17.
Here he goes again. So we've had 4 draws already, Tom, and we've won 3 out of the 4. Got to protect that ball. Ball's on the ground, a lot of scrambling. The key there is just drive right through the ball. Oh, a nice check. Oh, so Lily went across the Norton player's face, which is a foul, and so Norton is awarded the ball. So now Norton's moving the ball up the field. Lauren Sally chasing with a nice check from behind.
Check.
That was a beautiful pursuit by Lauren there. She kept her stick high, Tom. Didn't go over the top of the head, which is very common in youth lacrosse and high school lacrosse, which results in a foul.
Holliston back on the offense.
Quick ball movement here. Oh, Maggie Fitzgerald with a nice cut across the middle. Caitlin Trombley now slowing it down, just setting it up. Junior Audrey Givens there picking up the ball. And they'll look now to set this up. A lot of space. They tried a little trickery there, just didn't work. Flipped the ball too high. Audrey Givens driving in. It's called shooting space there. So Audrey is awarded what you would call a free position. The defender was between Audrey and the goal without being within a stick's length, and that's a penalty. And it looks like, yeah, that was a nice save by the keeper.
So Costello, Ashlyn Costello, is the senior goaltender for Norton.
Oh, and there you go. Norton just a little sloppy, threw the ball out, and Holliston picks up possession. Lily Trainer with the ball. Again, they're just going to set this up, work it around, see what the defense gives them, Tom. Look for those cutters and move from there. Tried a little misdirection there.
The shot, score. And number 8 with her second goal of the day makes it 4-0 Panthers.
Just simple ball movement. Caitlin read it. No defender in front of her. Took a shot to the left-hand corner. Score. Nicely done. Caitlin, that whole midfield line with Lauren Sally and Audrey Givens and Caitlin Trombley been working real well with their attackers, with Lily Trainer, Audrey Strock, Maggie Fitzgerald, and Jana Shaughnessy. Really playing well as a team.
Well, great spacing by the Panther offense as they're really giving each ball handler and cutter a lot of room.
And that's just good team offense right there, Tom. You said it correctly. And this team has been playing well. I know they lost the last 3 out of 4, as I mentioned earlier, against the Powerhouse, but lost to Medway in overtime and then came back 3 days later and beat Medway, which nobody thought was going to happen. And that was just a dominating win for Holliston and building the confidence of this team. So Jada Shaughnessy with the ball here, just trying to set something up here. Drops it out.
Nice pass back to Trainer by Trombley.
Oh, Lily with
Trainer with too much room goes downstairs for the goal. And Panthers with a 5-0 lead.
That was a
19 minutes to go here in the first half.
That was a nice assist from Jada. Jada Shaughnessy saw, looked, hesitated. Lily broke open, and Jada put it right on her stick. Nice teamwork right there from Jada Shaughnessy. And you give Lily, unfortunately, that much space, Tom, she's going to take advantage of it. So now Norton is changing up. Who's going to take the draw with Lily? And
it's interesting how they do this draw with the sticks back to back.
It is, and you can change where you are. The open part of your stick has to face towards your goal.
Right.
But you can be on either side of the line.
Mm-hmm.
You can be in many, many different positions. It's how you want to set up taking the draw so that it works to your advantage.
Number 23, Sophie Ryan, now out there on the offense.
Sophie hadn't played in the last couple of years. She plays on the club circuit in the summer, and she's a strong athlete, good runner, good stick skills. So it's nice to see Sophie out there as a sophomore. Just a lot of patience right here. Setting up a play here. Now they have a play call. Looks like they're going to go for an isolation. They're going to try and draw all the defenders away from one side of the ball. Lauren Sally, the junior, taking it behind. Nice job of not rushing it. Nice, nothing there. Good work. Now Lauren needs to release that ball. Got to be careful that you don't hold the ball too long because you're missing those opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see a shooting space call there, but there is a penalty and a free position now for Lauren. Drives in.
Scores. Lauren Sally, number 13, with the goal. And that's her 21st goal of the season. All right, out of that timeout, 18:21 to go in the first half. Panthers with a 6-0 lead.
Tom, one of the key takeaways as we started the game, we talked about the draws. There's been 7 draws at this point, and Holliston has won 5 of the 7. And you can clearly see that on the scoreboard. There you go, Lily Trainer self-drawing it to herself. Pushing the ball up the field.
Nice drop pass to Tremblay.
You can see now, Tom, this is interesting to watch. So you watch Lily Trainer, number 17. Norton has taken the strategy of what they call a face guard. So number 22 for the Norton Lancers, she's going to just stand right in front of Lily's face all day long so that Lily can't do anything. But you see what Lily did? She just rolled right behind her. But her job as a face guarder is she doesn't care where the ball is. Her job is just to disrupt Lily the entire time. So you can see right now, you can see 22 is right on Lily's hip.
Just trying to make sure she's not a pass option.
Exactly. They're going to look to take Lily out of the game. What Lily will look to do in her team match now is they'll start to set picks. So either Lily will get free or they'll get Lily the ball, and she'll look to then feed it into the cutters.
Right.
So Kaylin Trombley just take it behind the net.
Follows the cutter, looks right, saved by Costello. And Holliston with the ball back. Sally has the ball. Good patience by the Panthers. And, you know, I'm sure out of that timeout that Coach DeLuca was telling her defense, you know, this is what Holliston's doing. and again, making that change on Trainer.
Just trying to disrupt her game, but they'll adjust to it. They'll adjust, they'll set the picks, and they'll start driving. You got junior Emma Sawyers now, who's playing up in the midfield, normally a defender. But this is an opportunity to work your team, get them involved in different aspects of the game. You got number 11, sophomore Sydney Collier out there as well, up on attack now. You can see they're setting up a play here. Oh, we just got careless with the ball. Audrey Strock working hard to try to pick it up.
Nice hustle by Norton.
Ball still loose. Audrey Strock fighting hard. Key to win those ground balls, Tom, is get that top hand all the way up at the head of the stick. If your hands are back further on the stick, it's like a paddle. You're just not going to be able to bring it into your stick and maintain control. So good form is so important on ground balls. So Norton now has a chance to push the ball up the field. Sophie Ryan and Lily Trainer combined for it.
Really the first offensive zone time for the Lancers.
You saw there, Tom, just wrong form on the ground ball caused Norton to work a little bit harder than they needed to with Taylor Mullahill on there, but she did maintain possession. So now Norton's just going to work the ball around. Oh, a nice interception by freshman Livy Givens. Her sister is junior Audrey Givens. Nice job pushing the ball up very quickly for a quick strike here.
Good transition by the Panthers.
This works to the advantage on a face guard as well, Tom, because it pulls a defender out of that zone. So you can see Lily up high. 22 is nowhere involved in the defense. So you can set different picks. You have greater options just by being able to move that one defender out.
Right. Tremblay tries to take advantage. Went off the side of the cage or a save.
So on a shot, Tom, and the ball goes out of bounds on the end line, the closest team to the ball when it goes out on a shot maintains possession. Holliston had 2 of their players back behind the goal, and therefore they retained possession. You can see Lily set the pick for Livy Givens, and shooting space is called on Norton. The defender was standing right in Livy's path for shooting. So she'll be awarded a free position from the top of the 8-meter.
Freshman shoots. Save. Costello goes behind the cage. Scooped up by Strock. So 13 minutes and 37 seconds in the first half.
Getting a little sloppy with the ball here, Tom. We want to make sure you have good possession all the time. So now Lily has the ball here, and she's beating that break.
She's out ahead, draws some attention. Looks back across. Nice pass.
Oh, I thought Lauren was going to unleash that. She would have had a goal if she had just taken that and ripped it. It was a good feed by Lily. Thought Lauren was going to take that. Olivia Givens drawing there. Back up top.
Tremblay, lots of room. Shoots.
There you go.
And a score. So Kaylin Tremblay.
Her third of the day. That was just a mistake by the defense. They lost sight of where the ball carrier was, Tom.
That's the 15th of the season. Makes it 7-0 Holliston. Good cycling by the Panthers. We saw, 4 or 5 cutters move through in front of the Norton, threatening the Norton cage there. And then Tremblay just sort of walked in behind that vacuum, and Norton defenders had lost track of number 8.
And that is the confusion of a cutter, Tom. That is well described. It's that chaos that you don't know where it's going to go. Ball's out. So Lily Trainer, what they called that was an empty stick. The Norton defender swatted Lily's stick upwards, which is an illegal movement.
Givens brings it to the right.
So you got Sophie Ryan there behind the goal. She faked that she'd pass the ball off. The defense read that. I like the idea. Oh, Lauren Sally with a beautiful cut. Oh, they just hesitated. There's Izzy Larch, the sophomore.
And we got a free position for number 2.
Izzy was on the JV last year. She's moved up to varsity this year with a shot.
Just bounces wide of the net.
Now you got Sydney Collier with the ball. She was closest to it. Norton get a little aggressive on the defense. Working it around. Sydney Collier with the ball on the outside. This would be a great opportunity to have someone just drive right through that middle. There's a lot of green space right there. You could even see Sophie just drive. She should cut to the inside and go right to the goal. You see number 23 on Lily.
Yeah.
Thomas, he's working super hard, and Lily's just, okay, if you want to work that hard. Oh, great move by Sophie.
And there's a free position for number 23, Sophie Ryan.
be a great opportunity here. Sophie, the goaltender, is giving her that top right and bottom right. That's where Sophie should be looking to place his ball.
Ryan steps out.
It was a nice job by the defender.
Wraps around. And a score for Ryan. So Sophie Ryan, the sophomore, her second goal of the season. Panthers up 8-0 with 11:10 to go in the first half.
And Sophie did a nice job there. The defender for Norton, Jocelyn Nardoni, stepped in to prevent the free position goal, which was great. And Sophie just used her speed to come around the backside. But nice patience for Sophie. That's nice to see. And here we go. Norton is now on their third player to take the draws. And
Sally quickly on the ground ball there.
So Lauren's just going to take it behind the net. In no real hurry here. She could cut to the goal right there. She gets two open players.
Draws some attention as she moves to the right. We got a call.
Looks like she got a push. So Lancer pushed Lauren with her stick horizontally. So Lauren now takes possession. This is one thing that Holliston is trying to work on. Make that quick strike when you have that opportunity. Don't hesitate. You see your player, your teammate open, use it right then and there. And we had a little hesitation there. I'd like to see Izzy roll back to the inside. Nope, she goes around to the outside. A little crowd in front of the goal. Nice cut by Danny Kiley, the junior. Back to Sophie Ryan. Sophie just taking it to the outside, moving it around, working around the horn. Livy Gibbons now. Look to set that pick. Looking to try and free Lily there. It just works to the advantage to have that one less defender inside that 8. It's get less crowded. Oh, nice cut from Lily and Danny Kiley. Too long. Got to make that pass quickly, and you had two opportunities between Sophie and Lily Ryan going to the goal with two great opportunities. But we hesitated just a little bit.
But you got to feel like you got that that confidence of the ball cradled in your stick at the right time, and the defender not having their stick right in the way.
That's it. That's it. So Lily Trainer got free of the face guard. She's either going to look for the pass or she's working the roll.
She's got two defenders watching her now.
Oh, yeah.
Now that she got the ball.
So now you see Norton switch back off. They take number 22. I apologize. I don't have number 22's number. But she's got her hands full today.
Larsh goes to the left, back to the right.
And shooting space.
It's tough there to double team. You got to be really quick to, you step up, especially when you're inside the 8-meter circle there. Larsh with a shot and a score. Number 2, Izzy Larsh with the goal, the sophomore with her 4th of the year.
She did a nice job there, Tom, taking what the goalie gave her. The goalie was actually a little bit too far to the right, which left the left side of the goal open. And that's exactly where Izzy put it. A lot of substitutions right now from Coach Decker on the Holliston team. Sophie Ryan going out. Number 9, Emma Sawyers, the junior, coming in.
We got 9:05 to go in the first half. Holliston just dominating the offensive zone time.
I think I'd like to see him work on right now, Tom, for the remainder of this half, is that quick strike. When that offensive player is open, making that pass and get it to them. Because when you play your tougher teams, you're going to see that defense a lot tighter. So when you have that opening to make that pass, you want to take advantage of it because you won't get too many opportunities.
Olivia Givens with the ground ball and brings it into the attack zone.
Oh, nice cut
Hits
right
the
there.
Cutter.
Unfortunately, what we had there, we had the left-handed Danny Kiley, and the ball was positioned on her right, and she just did not have a firm enough grip to just release it and take that shot. But I like the idea that we were just talking about, Tom. There was a perfect example. The offensive player was there. They made the pass quickly. So you got Emma Sawyers setting it up on the outside, rolling back. Nice job by the defender there. Abigail O'Leary did a nice job on her. So you got Lily with the ball. Lily working it around. She's got an opening right there with the cut for Emma Sawyers. Oh, I thought she was going to take that shot. Now, this was the opposite of a minute ago, Tom, where this was in Emma's left stick, but her body was a different position, so she couldn't swing it around to make the shot. Nice cut by Livy Givens.
Oh, Givens goes upstairs for the goal. And number 20, Olivia Givens, the freshman.
She did a nice job there, Tom, where she switched the stick because the defender was on her right. She switched the stick to her left-hand side and made the shot.
So 4th goal of the year for number 20, and it's 10-0 Holliston with 7:49 to go in the first half. So Holliston using a lot of combinations in their attack.
Really moving a lot of players, which is good for Coach Decker to give some of these other players a chance to get in the game and play, give them some playing time at a varsity level. Can only help the program continue to grow. So Lily Trainer with the self-draw, moving the ball up the field. Just a quick dump off to Livy Givens. Livy now pushing it back up. You got Danny Kiley, the junior, working it behind the goal. That's freshman Mackenzie Underwood there. Number 21 is usually a defender. So they got up front. Oh, a nice feed. That was a nice feed from Emma Sawyers to Izzy Larch. There's a good cut by Lauren Sally, just a little high. A nice defensive play by the Lancers. That was a nice job on their defense there to intercept that by number 12, Taylor Mullahill.
But Holliston quickly on the attack against the Norton defenders.
And we had a shooting space violation.
I've got a question.
Yes.
So no long sticks in women's lacrosse.
Nope. And if you watch men's lacrosse, you'll see it's more of a checking type position with the long stick. It's more of a checking. Obviously, men with that long stick can rip a shot from just about anywhere on there. But it's really to kind of poke and jab at that attacker. And the women's game is more designed to be a finesse type game. More stick work, more ball movement. So you don't see the long pole. You have Anna Siegel now up on attack, number 12, a junior. Livy Givens, the ball is on the ground.
Good hustle by Trainer to scoop up that ground ball.
This is where Lily's going to look to do some work and try and push to the middle, just loses her footing. Oh, I don't know that I would have called that a foul. That was Lily lost her footing. But we'll take it, Tom.
Got to play the whistle.
Well, I have a feeling Coach Decker has, poor analogy, but kind of called off the dogs a little bit, which is not a bad strategy. This is where you can work on your settled offense. Get your team working together. You don't need to score goals. That doesn't really, at this point, help either team. It's a game of respect, and you don't want to just pound on somebody, and there's a lot of things that you can work on in these situations. And I'm getting the impression that's what Coach Decker is doing right now. She's having her team, let's work on our settled offense, get players in there that haven't played a lot, Tom, and get them experience on running different plays. So you got Livy Givens behind the goal. Again, looking for the cutters. A nice cut. Oh, a nice shot and save.
By Costello,
and it went
then it lost it out of her stick.
That was Emma Sawyers got that rebound.
So number 9, Emma Sawyers with her second goal of the season, giving Holliston an 11-0 lead here in the first half.
That was just a nice job of following up by Emma. The ball bounced right in front of her, and she just more or less flicked it right back into the goal, Tom.
So trying to think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different goal scorers for the Panthers already today.
That's nice balance.
Down under 4 minutes to go. Trainer wins the draw.
They're just going to set this up and work on their cutting, Tom. They're going to just work on moving it around, building confidence in your players, comfortable with defense, comfortable with using both hands, both left and right hands. And lacrosse, you need to be as equally as good in both hands. It's Anna Siegel there trying to push it in. Izzy Larch. That's freshman Mackenzie Underwood over to freshman Livy Givens. Anna Siegel with the ball on the outside. Anna, just keep moving your feet. Anna, just keep moving. So you had a little switch there. You got
Kate Mosier, number 6, with the ball.
Danny Colley just bringing it back across the middle. I could see Lily calling for the pick. There was an opportunity there for Danny to set that pick just to get Lily free to go set something up behind the goal. I don't think you're going to see a ton of shooting right now, Tom.
Now for the pick, you got to be set like in basketball.
Exactly the same, Tom.
There's a drive.
That would have been a nice opportunity. That's where we're talking where you switch hands. Anna could have rolled there to the inside.
Riley swings around the double team. Shot, score.
That was number 9, Emma Sawyers, from Danny Kiley on the assist.
That's Sawyer's second goal, back-to-back. 12-0, Holliston, third of the year for Sawyers.
A lot of substitutions. You have Lauren Sally, who normally plays at the midfield, back on the defensive line. Eliza Altabelli, the junior, back on defense.
Number 1, Sage Grant, just checked into the attack for Holliston.
Sage is a senior, one of the 3 seniors on the team this year. You got Captain Morgan Perry, who also plays ice hockey. Sage Grant, and goaltender Emily Zarowski, who in my opinion, Tom, has been the MVP of the season this year. That young lady has worked so hard on the goal and just made some tremendous saves. Really a credit for how hard she's worked. It's been fun to watch her development.
That's obviously the toughest position, especially in girls lacrosse, because just because of the rules and whatnot, allowing for free shots against the goaltender. You know, you don't have a lot of traffic in front of you. It's just you, the goal, and your stick.
What you just saw here, so the ball went into the goal circle. The only person that can touch the ball once in the goal circle is the goalie.
Mm-hmm.
But it should not have been that, Tom. We had some poor ground balling in the back there with hands not in the right place that made that a lot harder than it needed to be. And that's just fundamentals.
Lauren Sally with a long run, bringing it into the attack zone. And that's the end of the first half. So here at Comedian Field at halftime, it's the Holliston Panthers 12, the Norton Lancers 0. We'll be back with second half action in just a moment.
So Lily's just looking where she wants to put it and puts it over to Lauren Sally.
Helping those wins is number 13, Lauren Sally. She's pretty sharp getting to the ball and quick getting to the ground ball and putting it in motion.
Lily and Lauren have worked real hard on the draw circle. They'll communicate before each and every draw where Lily wants it. That was a nice roll by Kate Moser.
Saved by Costello.
That was a nice inside roll by Kate Moser there. So now you got Maggie Fitzgerald, the sophomore. They left her the space. Oh, I thought she was going to go. That was nice defense there by Norton to slide over and not give her the space.
Nice move. Shot, score.
Alex Coburn, number 10.
Number 10 with her first goal of the season. And the Panthers are on the board again to start the second half. 13-0 Holliston.
So now what they're doing is they're switching up the draw. They're going to have Lauren Sally now take the draws. And Lily Trainer and Maggie Fitzgerald are on the circle.
So Alex Colburn, the 9th different scorer here today for the Panthers.
And so you got Lily winning the draw for Lauren. Lily looks at the quick feed right there to Kate Moser. Oh, that was
another conversion. Perfect low shot there by number 6, Mosier. And she becomes number 10 Panther to score today. Her first goal of the season, 14-0 Holliston.
That was just Lily. You saw Lily, saw that Kate went across the middle, didn't hesitate, and put it right on her stick. That's what you want in team lacrosse. And now they're moving it again, so now they got Maggie Fitzgerald taking the draw. So that's nice variety here on the draw. Give everybody a chance to work on them because you never know when you're going to need it. Maggie
Fitzgerald tips it back and scoops it up. So she got the ground ball. Good control there by number 14. Stayed with it. Nice move. Mosier on the cut again. Blocked shot, though.
Kate with a nice defense there. Just controlling it. Put her stick up. Intercepted that pass. Maggie Fitzgerald trying to get it. That should be a Holliston ball. And it is not.
Holliston doing an excellent job harassing the Lancer defenders and not letting them get it into the attack zone.
So the Lancers now, Kristen McDonald moving the ball up. Kristen is a sophomore, one of the younger players on the Norton team. Just lost the ball, being guarded closely by Livy Givens.
Here's some good attack time by the Lancers.
And unfortunately, they just threw it away. So Audrey Givens now bring the ball up the field. Passes it into senior goalie, Emily Zarowski.
So even though Norton was closest, it wasn't a shot. So that's just an out of bounds.
Correct, Tom. So Emily is in no hurry. And there's Livy Givens came from behind. So now this is your opportunity to start moving the ball up quickly versus running the ball up the field. Get those open players. Anna needs to be looking now for that open player. And she's got an opening now right there.
Number 21, Mackenzie Underwood.
That's her first goal of the season, and that was a nice assist by Anna Siegel on there. So now we're back to Lauren Sally taking the draw with Lily Trainer and Maggie Fitzgerald on the circle. Lauren, that should be no problem. Maggie Fitzgerald picks that up. Maggie's just taking it around. And Anna Siegel open the middle. Oh, Anna's got to make that cut with her stick up. Lily Trainer picks up that ground ball. She's going to take this around the outside. She's got the defender. Drops it off to Sage Grant. Sage is moving around to Audrey Strock to an open. Nice defense there. They anticipated the pass to the middle.
Siegel was open, but nice stick work. Take that away.
The Lancers captain, Caitlin Landry, stepped right in front of it. She read that. That was well played. Well played, and it looks like we had a push on Holliston, so it will be Norton's ball. It's number 7, Crystal McDonald, moving the ball up the field. So now
back check is whistled on Fitzgerald.
Maggie came over the top of her head, which is a safety issue. If you pictured a cone around your head, you cannot have your stick anywhere near that cone, and that's what happened. She came from behind, entered into that cone space, and that is dangerous. It's a safety call and the right call. This is where Norton really wants to start working on moving that ball around quickly.
Is there a time limit on getting it across half?
There is not. Now, when you move into the colleges, women's college, a new rule they introduced last year is they introduced, somebody missed somebody on a defense.
Norton with a great opportunity right there.
Yeah, our defenders got stuck looking, and they had a golden opportunity, but the Lancers couldn't convert. They dropped the ball. So I was saying a second ago, Tom, in college lacrosse, women's lacrosse, they introduced a year ago a 90-second shot clock. You could have teams in the playoffs 2 years ago. Boston College ran almost 5 minutes off the game clock to win a game in the NCAA tournament. So they instituted the 90-second shot clock, which has just been fantastic.
Yeah, it keeps the action going.
It does.
Oh.
So here we go, ball bounce around. Sage trying to take possession. That's where Sage, I'd love to see her get that top hand all the way up at the top part of the stick by the head. She'd scoop that every time. So now just Holliston taking the time. Audrey Strock just working it around. You can see that their halftime adjustments for Holliston was to work the ball around, work on your cutters, work on your settled offense so that when you get into that next game, you're working cohesively. That was a nice pass from Maggie to Anna. Anna just couldn't hold it to her stick.
Good idea by Siegel right there.
This is where Lily drew the double team. Audrey Strock stepped over. Lily unloaded it over. Oh, there we had a pass to no one. Now that'll be a possession change because it was a pass and not a shot, even though we were first to the ball.
So 15-0 Panthers with 17-12 to go in the game.
So now the Lancers are trying to
good hustle by Fitzgerald.
Just the ball in
and
out.
That's a couple defenders. Siegel in front, scores. Number 12, Anna Siegel.
That's her first of the season.
And that's 15. That's 4 first-timers in a row here in the second half. And 16-0 Panthers.
That was a nice job there from Maggie Fitzgerald. Maggie thought about taking it and driving in, and then she saw Anna wide open, and Anna just delivered it right into the back of the net.
Yeah, you can see from the defense trying to react to Fitzgerald moving, and you realize you get a lot of open space, but then you draw a lot of attention. That means somebody else is open, and Siegel put herself right in front of the net for a nice low bounced-in goal.
So Maggie Fitzgerald on the draw, and she wins it herself.
Nice quick stick there by number 14.
It could help Norton, too, a little bit at this stage, using more of a zone-type defense with all the cutting that's taking place on this second half. Sometimes you can get confused with all the kids going in and out, the different players. So a zone sometimes can just simplify the game and all, just slow it down a little bit is all they're trying to do. They continue to face guard Lily, so you can see Lily now is trying to set a pick for Morgan Perry, the senior captain. Working the ball behind Audrey Strock. So Lily has set the pick for Morgan. You just got to take it on the inside versus the outside. So now you got Jada Shaughnessy just working behind the goal. They're absolutely working on the cutters. So you can see what they're doing now. Lily is drawing 2 defenders, which left Maggie open, but the ball's on the other side. The Lancers are doing a nice job, Tom, of anticipating our passing. That's the third one that the Lancers have stepped in front of them. That time Jenna Sweeney stepped in front of it. It was a nice anticipation of where the ball was going. I'm sure Coach DeLuca can build on that. They're just a little sloppy there. Audrey Strock kind of indicating that maybe she got a goalie stick in the mouth.
Hit up high, right.
So here now the Lancers are moving quickly. Lauren Sally in hot pursuit with a good check.
Nice back check by number 13.
So Kaylin Trombley picking up that ground ball. She's got help here. This is where she's got to move the ball quickly. You got Maggie Fitz, use the pass. See, that is just a function. We got lucky that we retained the ball, but we just hesitated too long on getting that ball up the field. You got to move it quickly. I've never seen anybody outrun a pass, Tom.
Easier said than done sometimes, though, Tom, obviously.
I know at my age and shape, I'm not outrunning much of anything.
That's right.
So Lily Trainer with the ball going behind the goal here. Well, he's going to set this up. Lauren Sally pull that defender away. That gives Lily, she got the look.
Saw Perry open for a second there, tried to squeeze the pass in.
Just a little too low on that pass. Oh, there's a nice cut right in the middle. Maggie Fitzgerald saw it. Unfortunately for Morgan, Morgan is traditionally a defender, so that stick skill that you need right there in attack isn't always there. But I like the effort. I like that she's out there trying, enjoying her senior year with her teammates.
Mm-hmm.
So now all they're doing is she just ran out of bounds. Unfortunately, on the line, the player just didn't realize the red was the sideline there, and unfortunately stepped out of bounds. So now we go back again to settle. There's Jada Shaughnessy. Lauren Sally with the cut. We've got to be a little more crisp on these passes from behind.
Ball mess in front. Shaughnessy scoops it up.
There's the Morgan.
Perry had her chance.
She had it right there. But this is, Tom, this is stuff you work on, that precision passing from behind the goal. You got to get it in these opportunities to make sure it's there so that when you get in these real tough, tight games, you have the confidence to execute against it.
Mm-hmm.
So Lauren Sally pulling the defender further and further away from the critical scoring area. Sage Grant with the ball. Lily looking to set that pick for Sage.
Grant goes
driving.
right, shoots, blocked.
That was
in front.
That was a nice save by Ashlyn Costello, the goalkeeper. She stepped up right to the edge of her goal circle, put the stick up, and deflected it. And they're working hard to get Morgan that opportunity. Oh, that was a good cut by Sage Grant right there, right through the middle. And now it's back outside to Lily Trainer, way on the outside. Lily driving in. Feeds it to Jada Shaughnessy. No shot. Just held the ball. That's okay. You don't waste it if you don't have to. You're better off keeping possession of the ball. I'd like to see them really work on getting these picks out. I don't know where we were going with that pass there.
I think it got away from her.
But a nice save by Audrey Strzok. This is where I really like to see him work on getting that release, getting Lily set out of that face guard. Because I promise you, Tom, Lily will see face guarding again.
Right.
And so this is your opportunity to work on that, to set that pick, to get her free. And if nothing else, what it does is it draws a double team, which means then somebody has to be open.
Trainer on the ground ball. Kicked as Lauren Sally kicked it away from trouble.
Which is new last year as well, Tom. You used to have, you're allowed to kick the ball. Mm-hmm. They introduced that rule last year. They also introduced the new rule on the restraining line on the draw. You can't leave your restraining line until possession is made on the draws. And again, a lot of these rules are for safety issues, and that was one of them with the restraining line, Tom, so that you don't have this mass chaos of 8-9 girls running into the center circle to try and get it, because colliding and heads and concussions and all those type things. So I really enjoy that rule.
If you're trying to make a finesse game, that's taking the finesse out of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, just working the ball around a little bit.
We're down to 9 minutes and 46 seconds to go in the game. Panthers, after taking a 12-0 first half lead, have 4 goals here to make it 16-0 here in the second half. Nice to see the sun coming out. Of course, some of the players might be getting the sun in their eyes now.
Beautiful weather for lacrosse. Nice job. Oh, just unlucky, but nice job by the defenders. Jenna Sweeney, again, that's her second time today that she's almost intercepted that pass. She anticipated where it was going. That was well done.
Yeah, especially teams that are sort of robotically trying to move it across the top. You know, sometimes you can jump that pass.
Yeah,
and that one's out of bounds. That'll be Norton ball.
Jenna Sweeney for the Lancers, too, is a sophomore. So that is, I think I said it earlier, that's encouraging. That is encouraging. So Lauren Sally now putting a little pressure back on the defense of the Lancers. Just enough to get the stick on it that the ball's on the ground. And she's out of bounds. Unfortunately, didn't see the red line, and that's just field awareness. That's just being aware of your surroundings, and sometimes when you have that pressure on you, you forget those little things.
Well, it's not fair. They have to play the red line versus the yellow line, which you see a little better.
True. Oh, there's wide open. That was a try to Morgan Perry again. Morgan has a couple goals on the season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she has one earlier this year. She had a goal. Trying to get her a couple more before her senior year is done. So I think they're saying, yes, it went out on Holliston. So now the Lancers will bring the ball up the field and immediately challenge Maggie Fitzgerald. And that is the worst. That's the worst place you want to be, is on the sideline. And it's funny, Tom, you watch this game long enough, and that seems to be the safety net for so many players to go to that sideline, and you just don't want to be there. You cannot move as well when you can only go one way, and that's back into the middle, because the good teams will shut that off on you. So Jada Shaughnessy just taking her time. Lily Trainer is now off the field. That's her first substitution of the season. So it's nice. Get a little break. Get the other ladies, your other teammates involved even more. So ball just being worked around. Sage Grant had
I think we're back.
Sage Grant had the ball, just momentarily lost it. Lauren Sally working it behind Audrey Strock. Just continuing to work it around. Looking for the cutter. That was a nice cut by Morgan, except the pass was behind her. And not a whole lot you can do with the ball behind you.
Down to 6 minutes and 17 seconds to go here in the game. Panthers with a comfortable 16-0 lead. Wind has picked up, though, Tom.
It has. We're having our own little wind tunnel in here in the booth.
I can't get the door to close.
So Lancers have an opportunity. Number 31, Amanda McCain, was wide open, and they just couldn't get the ball to her, and now the Lancers lost it. That's another one where you got to make that pass as quick as you can see it. So now let's see if the Lancers can work it around here and set up their offense. A lot of different players on defense right now for the Panthers. Oh, and unfortunate pass there, and the ball goes out, and it'll be Holliston's ball. So Lauren Sally will bring the ball in. Lauren runs track in the fall, so she has good speed, track and cross country.
Shaughnessy with a nice move, and she's away from her defender.
She's got up to Audrey Strock. I appreciate the good sportsmanship, Tom, not just driving right into the goal and shooting. Good sportsmanship, we say, respect the game. And
right.
That's what this is about. So, again, with 4.5 minutes left, they'll continue to work the ball around, get opportunities. Lauren up on the top side. Just bringing it around. Moves it over to Sophie Ryan. Sophie Ryan back to Lauren behind the goal. Lauren just looking for the cutters. I'm not sure what they called something on Holliston. Oh, I think they called Sophie Ryan for a moving pick.
Yeah, she was trying to set a pick to open up Grant, and
Well, she redeemed herself right there with a quick stick check to get the ball right back for Holliston. And Holliston just threw the ball away there. Little things take care of the ball here. And yes, it is the Lancers' ball. And the ball's on the ground again, and Holliston picks it up. Jada Shaughnessy back over to Sophie Ryan. Sophie behind the goal to her fellow sophomore, Audrey Strock. Audrey Strock has had a nice season this year. Audrey has 23 goals coming into today. Didn't add any to her total today, but 23 is a nice number to have. Holliston as a whole has coming into today's game, over 130 goals scored.
Right.
And it's across the board, too, which is nice to see when you have so many different players scoring. That if you get into those positions where they are face guarding a player, you know you have others that can step in and shoot and score for you. So it changes a defensive game plan when you know you can't face guard everybody.
So with the win, assuming a win today with the Panthers well in control here at 16-0, they would move to 7-5. They have 6 games left in the season, Tom. They travel to Dedham, and Dover, Sherburne, and Medfield come to town next week. That's some of the cream of the Tri-Valley League. And then a game that we're going to cover against Canton High School here at Comedian Field for senior night. And then Mansfield, and then traveling to Hopkinton. So you said Holliston, of those last 6 games, needs just 2 more wins, right?
That's correct. And you got some tough play coming in. I believe Medfield is a beatable team, but you have to play your A game. You cannot make mistakes. The first time we played Medfield with just too many mistakes, Tom, missing ground balls, holding the ball too long. It's just the basics. If they play the way they did those both games with Medway, they can upset Medfield. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, Tom. I don't think Dedham will propose a lot or a big challenge for us.
They're new to the Tri-Valley League.
They are.
New program to the town, or?
I believe they've had a varsity program, but it hasn't been one that they've really worked to develop, which they're doing now. Mm-hmm. So I don't see a lot of difficulty, but this is lacrosse, and anything can happen when people get on the field, and that's what heart and desire are all about. And I think they can also take care of business with Canton, which would give them the remaining 2 wins they need to get to 9 to get in the playoffs. And I still think they can still 1 or 2 either from Medfield or Hopkinton. Anything's possible.
Mansfield in a return match. Now, That was a close match. That was their first match of the season, and a score.
That was number 7, Grace Inman, normally a defender. Grace, one of the captains this year. So that was a nice goal from her, coming from behind. That's her 2nd goal of the season.
And so with 5 goals here in the second half, Panthers in a 17-0 lead. And that I was mentioning that Mansfield game because I'm sure the weather was not very good that game.
Actually, Tom, the weather it wasn't. It was a little cool, but it was a sunny day. First game of the season. Mm-hmm. A lot of rust on the team, new players on the team, but that to me is also another winnable game. Mm-hmm. But you got to come together and play as a team.
Yep. Well, speaking of playing as a team, our HCAT team did a great job today here at Comedian Field. Thanks to Dave Aronson on camera, Don Cronin setting us up, and thanks for being our expert today, Tom Trainer. You did a great job. Always fun doing a girls lacrosse game with you. My name is Tom Emmons. Your final score from Comedian Field: the Holliston Panthers 17, the Norton Lancers nothing. We'll see you later, people.